from Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Leading them out, it's the third-year man out of Oregon, Justin Herbert.
I loved our discussion this week. You know, we had our weekly phone call to talk about our game coming up, and we had to reflect on the fact that he won the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award last week, yet his team lost. You don't see that very often.
No, I know a lot of people dislike that, but when you look at the numbers across the conference from last week, he was clearly the best. So I say the award goes to him, and it did.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. He was so good, they just couldn't ignore him.
Meanwhile, Herbert's throw is taken in by Waddle. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Again, it's Mixon. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
2 big runs here to start this game. How about the offensive line? They came out firing. Great leverage, great punch to get this thing started.
And now this unit on the move already. Mixon with a first down carry. And he'll be brought down right on the 50. A gain of 3. This defense for the Dolphins, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Willie Gay getting in there and picking up the sack.
Even keeping the back in for extra protection on 3rd down, they still couldn't prevent the sack. Now it's 4th and long thanks to a terrific individual effort on defense.
And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And they're led out by the 4th-year man out of Duke, and that's Daniel Jones.
And he's been playing at an elite level here in this early half of the season. Tops in the league in touchdown passes at this point. This is definitely a wide-open offense, so we'll see if he can keep his string of good games going right here.
Now Herbert to start the drive. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 10 carries, 73 yards.
And those numbers have both he and his blockers motivated this week. They saw that yardage total climbing, but stopped short of 100. Every one of them has to be driven this week to help him reach the century mark.
And he'll have a Dolphins first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Now Jones. On the move to his left. And this one is incomplete. The Dolphins had a very solid 4-1 here in the early part of the year. And they've come in on a nice run of recent form. 4 wins out of 5.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jones. That's the tight end Hurst with it. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
On 3rd down, Herbert. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. A Miami first down on the 14-yard pickup. Throwing Jones. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Well, good hands there defensively at 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Throwing again. Jones. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
Here's Jones on 3rd down. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. That's Yannick Ngakoue with a sack. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. Hey, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest. You get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
Inside handoff to Mixon. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. From the 50, here's Herbert, and his throw here's incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Justin Herbert looking to pass. And a loose football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, a run with Herbert. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
And force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Now Jones to throw on 3rd down. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this 1st quarter. The sack by Ronald Darby coming from the corner. 2nd quarter from Miami. It's the Dolphins with the football. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Able to spin free. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first. Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On 1st down, it's Herbert. This will be caught. It's Waddle. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw here, Herbert. Looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tyson Campbell. And the Dolphins are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw, or maybe the ball's tipped, or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
The catch and run there, good for 16 and a 1st.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones. And this one's incomplete. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hand.
Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. So a big return there, Charles, on what was a pretty dangerous throw to the outside.
It sure was, Brandon. That's the risk you run on a throw like this. If it's intercepted, a lot of times this is a pick 6. So good hustle to get back and get him down, but boy, that's a throw you've really got to be sure of if you're going to work the perimeter.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Like the footwork back there, and I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Trying to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Here's Herbert. To the back of the end zone, but too high. Over everybody and incomplete. The Dolphins do the job defensively there, and now it brings up 4th. This is up and good from Pinheiro. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Miami set to take over. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 43. Eluding the pressure right. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket, only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jones. Pass caught by Olave. What a grab. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 27-yard line. They'll look to throw again. Steps away to his left. And that is caught, but he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge. Incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. On 3rd down, Jones escaping the pressure right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Certainly not a positive sign if you're the D coordinator and you see your guys give up that space so early in the game. 3rd down, that's when the clamps are supposed to come out, but his ability to create things with his legs makes things difficult.
That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. They go play action here on 1st down. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Partner, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because...
Now, I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. Looking to throw. Jones buying time to his left. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Daniel Jones, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. Gano the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
Oh, Davis from the top rope. I like it. And now out comes Minnesota. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. On 2nd and 10, the ball back with Herbert. Now there's the former Dolphin, Jarvis Landry. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. He's got his tight end Freiermuth right side. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 43. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On 1st and 10, Herbert. That's caught. Waddle on the left side. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Herbert throwing again. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On 3rd down, Mixon. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 40. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. The Dolphins taking over now late in this first half. And with a 7-3 lead, we'll see how aggressive they want to be. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He's got a man complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Boy, a pair of big plays here. This one going for 29. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Jones on 1st down. And a quick throw here. That's complete. Oh, he's brought down. And remember here, no timeouts left. They got to get to the line quick. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Dolphins will extend their lead here just before halftime. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Extra point try good by Gano. And that pushes the lead up to 11. So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. No reason to do anything foolish as they'll snap it one more time on 1st down. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So the two teams will head to the locker rooms here in Miami with the Dolphins. Well, we'll move right through the break then, skipping halftime and back to the field for the start of the second half. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. And Moore, he's going to sit on this one, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Chris Olave heads back to the field as his guys get set for another possession. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
From the 27, Jones out to his left. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Jones now on third down. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5. Back to throw. Jones. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play. So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. A handoff for Herbert. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Flush to his right. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. Gano's kick is good, and the Dolphins will add onto their lead. Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
Out of the gun, Herbert. He's got his tight end Freiermuth over the middle. That one a first down pickup of 8. Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. On first down, Justin Herbert. Here's Freiermuth again. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Herbert to Mixon on the check down. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
Jonah Jackson, former third-round pick, the guilty party. The false start penalty, and now they're back to needing 10 yards on second down. Herbert back to the air. Open man is Waddle, complete. Down inside the 10. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That one good for 37 yards.
They're still looking for their first touchdown of the game, and for a second, I thought they had it right there.
Now looking on the sideline, it's finally good to see nods of approval. It's a welcome sign of life that this offense needed. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. That is Nick Bosa from out on the edge who worked his way in for the sack.
You can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front seven. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And now what we have here, a 3rd and goal. The things got a little dicey there as soon as he exited the pocket out to the left.
And he ends up throwing it for no yardage gain. I don't know about you, but my high school coach, John Ford, if he saw a ball in the air and you got no yards out of it, he would have had a stroke, okay? Because his opinion, that ball shouldn't be in the air unless something good was going to happen. Tuck it away, try and pick up something, or just slide and get down.
Nothing good happened there, that's for sure. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And a second field goal here gets them back within 11 now. It's 17-6. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
And no run back here for Moore. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, oh.
And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. James Cook with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. Gano for the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. Herbert on first down now. They'll set up the screen here to mix it. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Herbert's throw complete to Freiermuth. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Now left side on the swing pass. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
And good yardage there on first down, because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
Well, a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. He'll get it inside the 20. And he's going to be pushed out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. A big play there for Minnesota. 41 yards. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's first and goal from just inside the 10. They'll give it to Mixon. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
It's largely been the air attack that's gotten them down here, but now is where you start to lean on that running game. That's a good pickup there on first and goal.
On second and goal, Herbert. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Pat Freiermuth from 4 yards out. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And that makes it 24-13. So that drives 6 plays, 75 yards. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Taking it about the 1. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Miami's offense set and ready to go. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch them.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. So first and 10 now from the 30. After the turnover, here's Herbert. That's complete to his tight end, Freiermuth. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. So from inside the 20, here's first and 10 at the 18. Mixing up the middle. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. 67 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Throwing on second and 3, Herbert. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Nick Bosa able to record his 5th sack of the season. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
The Dolphins about set to go to work on offense. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Here's Jones to throw on third down. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And he'll go right back to Moore. Complete again. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Jones looking around. And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Jones. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown. What a huge touchdown that was, obviously, here in the late stages of the fourth quarter as they try to put this one away.
And, Brandon, when they watch the film after this week, they'll be very proud of every rep if they close this game out. Just a few snaps remaining. They can't relax just yet.
Gano now to add the extra point. And the lead is up to 15 now. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told.
And it was Chris Olave who finished things off with a touchdown.
So all eyes on this Vikings offense. Down on the scoreboard. At time, a huge factor. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. Herbert. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete.
Meanwhile, Herbert's throw taken in by Evans here.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down.
Herbert to throw.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Fourth down for Herbert. Desperation time. That's to Freiermuth. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. One crisis averted, but they still need to move hastily.
Herbert's throw taken in by Landry.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. Nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Throwing, Herbert. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 26. Now Herbert. Again, he's got that man Landry.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. Herbert. Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. So it's a win for the Dolphins here, and it's thanks in large part to the play of their quarterback, and that's Daniel Jones.
Yeah, he did a little bit of everything, didn't he? He had 2 touchdown passes through the air, another one on the ground, and that defense, they really had no answer for many of their drives.
So for Miami, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Pittsburgh Steelers come to town. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And now they'll head to the bye week